Alright guys, welcome to Physiques by Andell. Today I had a heavy leg workout with Josh Crutch. He's my homeboy. We lift from time to time together, and he's actually a powerlifter. He has some New York State powerlifting records. If you want to hit him up, that's his information right there. And we went pretty heavy today. I mean, he's stronger than me. He's just 22. We set those records when he's 21, so he's a beast. So if you're trying to get your power up, hit him up. Like I said, you can go back and check out his email and his kick. Alright, so the first set we did squats. We start off with 135 just to get the blood flowing. He did about 10, I did about 10. As far as the warm-up sets, we didn't really count the reps too much. We just really worried about our working sets, our power sets. So once again, I did also about 10 plus reps just to get the blood flowing. Now if you notice, our form is slightly different. I think I lean forward just a little bit more. We have different body types. As long as you feel it where you're supposed to feel it, which is the quads mainly, you don't put too much pressure on your back, because neither one of us are wearing any belts or knee wraps or anything like that. That's comfortable for me and that's comfortable for him. As long as you have proper form, not putting stress on the joints, and you're feeling it where you're supposed to feel it, it really doesn't matter. So the second set, we went to 225. We pretty much consider this a warm-up set as well. Same thing, 225, about 10 reps. Now, as far as the heavy stuff, I've seen people use spotters for squats. To me, it doesn't make much sense, but whatever works for you. That's what the bars at the bottom is for. So once in a while, I would train without the bars, but for the most part, if I'm going heavy especially, I'll put the bars at the bottom. So if I can't get it up, I'll drop it. So as long as my form is good, and I start off with good form, I make sure I have good form all the way through, and I really don't need a spotter. So, I mean, if you feel like you need someone behind you, just make sure your form is good, that's fine. But for the most part, if your form is good, I don't think you need a spotter. So for the third set, went to 315. Once again, still making it look easy, about 6 reps or so. I did the same. Now, so far so good. I'm keeping up with him. I'm looking pretty strong, but in a few sets, he's gonna really show you why he has the powerlifting record for his age group and his weight class. Right now, he's about 188 in this video. In this video, I'm about 208, 207. And when he set the record, I believe he said he was 185 as well. So to squat this heavy at that weight is pretty impressive. My heaviest squats, I was probably around 240 pounds. So it's all relative. I mean, if you're strong, you don't need to have a whole bunch of extra weight on you. So 4 or 5, and you can see he's going parallel at least, and that's when your thighs is even with the ground. So I think he gets about 10 reps in here. Like I told you, it made it look easy. With me, I believe I got about 5 or so. I mean, I consider myself a pretty strong squatter, but I'm obviously not a powerlifter, so I don't train like that. But still, even at my best, even if I tried, I just think he's just like naturally a beast mode dude, and that's what he was meant to do. I'm a bodybuilder, that's what I focus on, but I always like to get some heavy stuff in there now and then. So yeah, I believe that was about 5. Felt pretty good though. Alright, so for his working set, he went to 495. At least parallel, good form. Like it was nothing. I was contemplating going to 495, but I was like, you know what, I don't want to dislocate my back. So I just decided to go to 455 and see how much I could do. and that was it. 1 rep, man. I didn't have it today. Alright, so then after we did the heavy powerlifting stuff, he kind of did more traditional bodybuilding tests where you break down the muscle. So he went back to 4 or 5, and once again he was doing more reps to break down the muscle. This was actually a superset. He went straight from the 4-5 to the 315. And this is a little bit of a unique technique for me. I don't necessarily superset with weights that are this heavy, but this is something he normally does. And I told him since he was like the squat dude, I would just follow his lead. So I did the same thing after he finished. So altogether in about a 60-second span, that was about 15 plus reps. So I decided to do the same thing. I started with 4 or 5. Decent reps in. The whole thing about it too, the 4 or 5 actually felt lighter the second time around. After I took off those 50s, it just felt lighter the second time around. So I actually did more the second time than the first time. Alright, so I dropped the 4 or 5. Stripped the plate on each side. Took a few deep breaths, and then I went into the 315. And the same thing. After I stripped the 4 or 5 to 315, it felt a lot lighter the second time around than the first time. Catch my breath, always making sure my form is good. You never want to have bad form, especially if you don't have a belt and you have that much weight on you. So I lost count, something like 8 reps. And we did that superset again. So went to 4 or 5, as many as we could, and then stripped it to 315, and once again as many as we could. And if you notice, when he does his squats, he decides to have a little stepper at the bottom, just so he doesn't go too low. He said that just keeps his conscious as far as not going too low and putting too much pressure on his knees. With me, I never did squats like that, so I decided not to squat with that stepper behind me, but he's used to doing squats like that, so whatever works for him. And he's not actually sitting on it, he's just literally tapping it just to make sure he gets the proper distance. He's not going too low. So once again, after we stripped the 4 or 5 to 315, he knocked out as many as he could. Okay. And once again, my second time around doing this superset, or this drop set. In. Now it's starting to feel a little heavy. Third time through, with the 4 or 5. Making sure I'm catching my breath before each rep. That one I had to struggle for. Same thing. Strip to 45 on each side. Trying to take too much time in between. and just knocked out the last set with the 315s. And just did as many as I could. Last few. Very good. Now, like I said, we train differently, and I pretty much wanted to do a workout like how he normally does a workout. Now, I never used this machine before. I traditionally, when I train quads, I either do the back squat or the hack squat, the more traditional hack squat in the back. But this is an abbreviated hack squat or a machine squat, and it's a little different. And if you can see, some people do it with their back on that pad and facing the opposite direction that he's facing right now. This is another way you can do it, where your back is actually not on the pad, and you actually put more stress on your quads this way, and less on your back, less on your hamstrings, glutes, and other areas besides your quads. So since it was a quad workout, we did it this way just to put more stress on the quads and less on the other areas of the legs. So just like any squat, you want to pretty much keep the same exact form. Weight in the heels, that 45-degree angle in your back, not too much stress on your back. And as you go back, you pretty much lower your butt first, and you go back and down. No matter if you're doing a machine squat, freeway squat, it's pretty much the same as far as technique. So I wasn't counting reps, so I just tried to get 10 plus in each set. And I wasn't counting plates either. As far as the machines go, I don't get too hyped up as far as how much plates are on there. To me, if you're not doing the free weights, then you shouldn't really be bragging about how much plates you have on it. So I don't care how much plates are on, and I didn't check. But like I said, I tried to get 10 plus reps, and so did he. So just to make sure, I did actually check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates. Alright, and this was my last set. This abbreviated machine squat. So at this point, our legs are just on fire right now. Not necessarily on fire, it's more like jello. Like as far as having that burning feeling, that's more that higher rep, lighter weight stuff. But if you try to do super heavy with a good amount of reps, that's when you feel like you can barely stand up. So that's how I was feeling after this, like jello. And I still did my hour on the stepper after. And I'm doing an hour tonight. So that was pretty much it. Great workout with Josh. And to be honest, man, like I probably wouldn't have pushed myself this hard if I trained by myself. So if y'all want to have a training partner, there's not a better training partner to have than a dude who's at your level or above. And I'm not ashamed to say he's stronger than me as far as squats are concerned, and it just gave me that extra S to push even harder. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Physiques by Andell, and also hit up Josh if you're trying to improve your strength and also your fitness. All right, thank you.